Leah Shadeen, the Executive Director at the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today with Maverick Hann, a firefighter here in Lloydminster. So Maverick, please tell me a little bit about, firefighters. What's your rank here and how does that hierarchy work?
So what my rank is, as Serena said earlier, I'm a firefighter with the City of Lloyd. So our rank structure kind of runs as, we started out as firefighters. So within our first about year, we're in a probationary period. So that's about a 1-year program. So kind of in that probationary period. Then you move into, after that, you're kind of works into classes. So it starts at 4, 3, 2, 1. And then once you're a first class firefighter, then that's kind of like your senior firefighter rank. So after firefighter, then it goes up to captain. So captains are the ones that run the trucks and run the stations as well. So basically any responsibility goes through that captain. So they take care of all the operational duties, all the kind of organizing the staff, and obviously on any call as well, they kind of deal with any issues there. After that, we go up to assistant chief. So we have one assistant chief right now. He basically is in charge of the administration and operational side of the department, hiring, firing, anything to do with our staff. And then at the top, there's a fire chief at the top. So he's kind of the head person. He kind of deals with all the council issues, budgeting. Budgeting issues is a big one. Costs within the department. So those are just some of our ranks within the department.
So to move up through the ranks, is it just over time and experience, or is there kind of a continual education piece that you need upgrading?
Yeah, so every firefighter has to have what is called an NFPA 1001. So that's you can go to Lakeland College, or we actually do it internally as well. So that's a 3-month program that we run there. So every person has to have that just to be able to be a firefighter. So you can join as a paid on call member and not have that, and then we will actually put you through the training for that. So once you're done that, then there's additional courses that we constantly do within the fire department. There's tons of courses. Some courses, just off the top of my head, are officer development courses. So that's called our 1021. So there's 2 levels to that. Your basic supervisor level, which all captains at this stage have, and then there's a second level, which is kind of your administration. So getting into more dealing with finances and the higher operational side of the department. Then there's also fire service instructor that is recognized as well. So that's to be able to teach any training, basically look after any member that we have there, and you can actually go to outside resources or outside departments and do that as well, actually teach as well. So it's a very good opportunity. So those are kind of the couple of the courses. We have ICS 100, 200, and 300 that's also recognized too. So those are just kind of some of that's kind of some of the rank structure that we follow to go into our next level.
So if we back up to the beginning, you got somebody young just starting out, they want to become a firefighter. How do they go about that? What kind of training? I know that there's programs at Lakeland College. So what's that initial first training look like?
So I actually went through that initial training when I was 19 years old as well. So basically it's a 3-month course. Throughout those months, you'll touch on everything from your basic donning and doffing your SCBA, getting into like ventilation, vehicle extrication, hazardous materials. So it's very, very physical, very hands-on. Generally, it's about 3 days of hard physical work, and then there's usually about 2 days of classroom stuff. So it's very, 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 very in-depth training through that Lakeland College. Basically a 3-month program there. Internally, we actually do offer that program internally as well. So if there was someone that was interested, if we were hiring at that time, you could actually come down and we have 8 to 12 instructors right now that will actually teach that course. So you wouldn't have to pay the fees for at Lakeland College. You could actually do it through us within the fire department, kind of internally.
How many firefighters do you guys have working here in Lloyd?
So our staff, we have a very unique staff right now. We have what's called a composite material or a composite department. So we have a combination of full-time and paid on-call members. So the full-time members, we have 8 members that are full-time right now, 4 captains and 4 firefighters, and the rest are made up of paid on-call members. So we have roughly 34 to 35 paid on-call members right now. So that's kind of our...
Okay. And what do the shifts look like?
So the shifts are very, I guess, very unique as well. So we run 24-hour shifts within our station. So my schedule right now is 1 day on, which is 24-hour shifts. So 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, and then I get 5 days off. So there's a lot of time that you have off actually, but within that 24-hour period, you are on duty for that 24 hours. So within 12 hours, we start at 7 a.m. and we're done at 7 a.m. the next day, so a full 24 hours. Within 12 hours, we're kind of made to work those 12 hours, kind of have to be operational, always kind of doing something, always busy. So lots of tasks we kind of do throughout the day. And then after those 12 hours are done, pending we don't have any fire calls or other duties we need to do, it's kind of our downtime and our relaxed time. So you could be working on a course, you could be watching TV, kind of doing some cleaning around the station. There's always something to do there. So
So yeah, you're here for 24 hours, you eat here, you sleep here. Do you guys, is it like what you see on TV? Do you guys have a kitchen here? You guys all have like kind of family meal together?
Yeah, so what our shift has actually done, previously before COVID happened about a year ago now, we actually did meals within the station. So we would bring our own breakfast or eat breakfast at home, then you kind of bring your own lunch, but we'd always do a big kind of potluck or a big group meal for supper time. So everyone would either pitch in $5 or $10. We'd run to Safeway, or someone the day before. We kind of planned it a few days before, and we cooked a meal kind of all together in our kitchen at Station 1. So it's a very good bonding time. I know a lot of people learn a lot from the kitchen table, and you learn a lot actually more from the kitchen table than sometimes you do actually on the call. So it's good camaraderie, good to talk with the other members during, kind of just gives you an excuse to talk to other members and kind of sit down and reflect on the day.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah.
So what's your average call out like? I'm assuming it's kind of house fires, car accidents. What's your average calls that you do?
So most of the calls, big structure fires, house fires, commercial fires, those are pretty rare. We don't have a whole lot of those throughout the year, just in our kind of demographics and within our city. So some of the other calls that we go to lots are lots of false alarms. So if somebody burns toast, like a typical one is if somebody burns toast or burns something in the oven, we have to go no matter what. So even if they call their alarm company and cancel it, we still have to go and kind of do our due diligence and make sure we check that out. We also go to vehicle accidents. A big one we're getting into now is actually medical calls. So we're actually everyone in our level is a medical first responder. So we do lots of medical assists. So we actually help out WPD a lot. So any type of more serious calls we usually go to with them if they kind of request us, or if the RCMP requests us. We go to lots of those types of calls with medical calls. Car accidents are another one within the city. There's tons of like little fender benders opposed to actually big car accidents. So that's another one that we go to a lot of the time. Hazardous material spills is another one. We could go to honestly anything, even if a kid gets stuck in a swing, we could go cut them out, and we've done that a few times before actually. So you'll never have the same day doing it. There's never the same call. It's always something interesting. It's always something completely out there, and there's no call that's ever the same. So that's one of the most enjoyable things.
Yeah, it'd be a really interesting career. Just to back up a little bit, you were talking about medical calls. So are you, just for people who maybe want to move around, do something different over time, are you certified? Like, could you be an EMT if you chose to be? So
the way our structure works is we're all MFRs, which is medical first responder. So it's basically the step above first aid. So unfortunately, we can't have we're not EMTs or PCPs is what they call them now. So if you wanted to do that, that's an additional course that you'd have to go to. There's many colleges throughout the area that do offer that. So that isn't it. We actually do have 4 members on our department right now that do have their PCP. So they actually work for different ambulance services within the community, or within the area, I guess. So it is pretty cool. It is pretty interesting to see. But
okay. So we're nearing the end, but I guess I'm a little bit curious about forest fires. So I mean, there's been a lot of forest fires in Fort Mac, Jasper area. If Lloyd was ever called out to go help, like, do we have the capabilities? Are we able to do stuff like that?
So previously, before last year, actually, when we actually just did get a new pumper. It's called a Wildland Urban Interface truck. So what it is it has 4x4 capabilities. It's meant to go into those grass fields, into the basically deal with any type of grass fire. So it is. We do have the capability now. We don't have anything set in stone yet that we are able to do it, but we're trained up to. There was, I believe, 10 to 12 members last year that went out for wildland urban interface training. So basically exactly what the Fort Mac and the Jasper forest fires had within the last few years, or 5 years, I guess it would be. We do have the capabilities to help out now. Now that we have that additional truck, it's a huge asset to us, and really helps us and kind of gets us out there more and more able to help those communities when they need it.
Okay, awesome. So I guess just one last question. Why did you become a firefighter?
So I have a pretty interesting story actually why I became a firefighter. So when I was 12 years old, I got in a really bad car accident when I was 12. I got pretty hurt, pretty bad. I had whiplash, concussion, pretty serious accident I was in. It kind of wrecked me for a summer, kind of put me out for almost about 6 months actually. So when the fire department came and helped out, I thought it was like a really cool thing that they were doing, and watching them work as a team and watching them work as basically just a team. Like, it's a huge team atmosphere they worked in, and kind of helping out. So after that, I kind of thought, I'm like, this is a really cool career to get into. Very interesting. The thing I like about it is you'd never do the same thing every day. I like to think of it a lot as a hockey team, or being any type of sport. As I said, it's kind of a team atmosphere. You work as a team. You're never sent into a structure fire alone. You're never going to go to a medical call just by yourself. You're never going to go to a vehicle accident just completely by yourself. So you're always working with someone else, and you always get those other people that kind of look out for you, and you can look out for them. So I think it's a really awesome career to get into, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.